Call the meeting to order. First up, is any items from the public? Not yet? Okay. I have a motion to approve the agenda if there's no modifications or changes.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, motion to approve for May 16, 2024.
Second.
Penny, do I need to put this in here for the removal of the?
Not till you get to.
Not till I get to it, okay.
Status.
Change in status, okay. All righty. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Purchase order log. Any questions for Tracy? She's back there waiting patiently. No questions? Very good. Internal budget revisions, 11. And, who's up? It says
Yes, sir.
Penny or Tad?
I'll handle those. You have 11 internal budget revisions. This is all towards the end of the year to cover some budget deficits. The first is from County Clerk Anthony Petrucci, taking $4,000 out of line 5223 to line 52216. You have two budget revisions from Tim Saya. The first taking out of line 214 $1,000 and placing into line 113. Second is taking out of line 221 and into line 108 for $5,000. You have three from the assessor Larry Hess. The first is taking out of line 342 and into line 219 for $3,000. Second is decreasing line 568 by $5,000 and putting into line 341 for the same. The last is taking out of line 105 and into line 108. That's for $3,200. And then the final budget revisions are from County Administrator Gary Wine. First is decreasing line 108 and 105 by $2,500 and $3,400 respectively to increase line 103 by $5,900. The second is decreasing line 105 and increasing line 104 by $500. The next is decreasing line 105 and increasing line 104 by $6,000. Decreasing line 108 and increasing line 113 by $5,000. And then finally, Michael Withrow is requesting a decrease of line 341 by $25 to increase line 214 by $25. And again, those are all to cover end-of-year budget deficits.
Okay. We have change in status, a new hire recommendation received from Gary Wine, County Administrator, for Andrew Rosen as a IT Specialist 3 with an annual salary of $70,000. That's effective June the 3rd, 2024. Letter of resignation received from the Day Report Center for William
Papajos.
Papajos, okay. That's effective June the 28th, 2024. Letter of resignation received from the Recovery Resource Center for Lindsay Seifert, effective May 15th, 2024. And let's see. Can you help me out with your writing? A request received from the Circuit Clerk to remove Joyce Smith? Joyce Smith from payroll, effective May the 8th, 2024. And I think that's it. Okay, and the approval of the minutes, everybody was here, so they can stay. We have a bond release from Lord Fairfax Estates, Section 1, lots 1 through 5, and lots 21 through 23. Final plat, BCP file 91-05, letter credit number 1005269-4401. And the engineering department has made that recommendation. Any questions for Doug on that? All good? All righty. And a letter of endorsement for the West Virginia Regional Airport Authority for the upcoming event that's out there. For,
Independence Day.
Independence
Okay.
Day, yeah. Upcoming.
You have done these in the past, you did this them last year.
Yeah. For the sale of
Yes.
alcohol. Okay.
It's for my birthday.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what that's for?
For your birthday? Yeah, when is your birthday?
June 29th.
June 20th. Perfect. Well, we're going to have a big birthday party for you out there.
Well, it's a big,
67, right?
yeah, it's a big number.
Yeah. All right.
I remember 67.
Yeah. Haven't made it there yet.
Well,
I still got a
I've
few
been
more. Okay. We have a correction of assessments log, apportionment of assessments.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Oh, okay, yep. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Nothing here from the assessor for the correction of assessment logs, board and meeting reports. Mr. Boyd, start off with you.
We had a Roundhouse Foundation meeting yesterday. Main focus there is the upcoming outdoorsman show, getting things organized and put together. We have, due to the Department of Agriculture with the farmers market that's already there every Saturday, we had to lay out how we'll separate the two events because they cannot intermingle because of state laws with ag and things with your the SNAP cash that people can use to buy things from ag. So we got a lot of that done and put together a text committee to stay on top of getting things done for that event. So,
Is there a admission fee for that to be charged or no?
there will
All
be
free
no
to the public?
admission, free to the public. Starting to get some more vendors. Hope to be a big show. And that was the bulk of the meeting.
Not that I'm trying to cost anything to anybody else, but they do charge it up at Harrisburg when you go
Yeah.
into
Well, it's our first year.
Yeah. So.
You know, I think you want to build a little bit. We hope to make it a ongoing
Yearly
big event in the future. And, you know, we've reached out to the CVB about maybe getting some help from them. And we're going to reach out to try to get volunteers from some different organizations for the day of the event. So, seems to be on target and coming together. So it's going to be a lot of work over the next few months. And so we reorganized to be able to be in touch with people on a regular basis through text versus a monthly meeting, because you get into the last 2 months, it takes more than a meeting a month to get these type of things put together. So,
All right.
yeah. And I guess that's it.
Steve, on that, are you able to reach out to some vendors like that have like travel trailers and recreational vehicles?
We
that kind
we
of
did try to reach out to the one up there in Spring Mills, but they said they don't like to do it because they get trashed.
They do.
Because that was one of my suggestions, and they said they had already spoke to them and they weren't interested because when they bring trailers out, they said they usually get trashed, which I mean,
Don't stop
That's
there.
sad,
There's
but-
another one right up the street there from them at the
Yeah.
Pennsylvania line.
Okay.
They may be interested.
well, Nate Arndt has taken the lead on getting the vendors. He's pretty much full time on it. He did that turkey shoot, or whatever they had up there in Spring Mills, and
Turkey Youth, yeah.
yeah, the youth turkey.
Youth Turkey Federation or something, or something like that.
So he's on it, trying to get us some of these vendors, and we hope to have some like gun raffles and different things as well. But I would have liked to see like some kayak companies, different things like that. But
Tragics.
yeah, I think that's one that we are reaching out to. So
Somebody else would be maybe the River Raiders. They may want to come up and do an event or something. They got a pretty good thing going on down there. So,
I add that into the text. So.
all right. Anything else?
No, CVB has a meeting next week, but it's canceled for this month. They're not going to have a quorum, so no, not a lot going on.
All right. Mr. Barnhart.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had a water board meeting, but I was unable to attend. I had to go with Linda to the eye doctor where they took out a couple of her stitches in her eye, which is really pleasant. But, you know, what can you do?
Stitch in the eye.
Well, she had a corneal transplant.
Transplant. Oh,
and so it's
okay.
held in by the stitches, and a couple of stitches are starting to booger her. And they
Just thinking about it.
yeah, well, they numb you.
I don't
Obviously,
care.
but
But
still.
do they keep a patch on it?
There's not a difference.
No,
Don't poke anything in my eye, please.
There's not enough numbing agent out there
Yeah.
for that one. Maybe phenobarbital, I don't know.
So I missed the water board meeting, but I did have an MPO meeting Wednesday of me and Mr. Catlett. It was pretty much routine, though. Steve may want to elaborate on a couple of items. There were no real tip amendments for West Virginia. There's one in Jefferson County, but that was just a monetary adjustment. So that was my meeting.
Very good. All right. Mr. Catlett?
Yes, sir.
like the rest of you, enjoyed the tour of Monument last Thursday after during our recess,
That was pretty extraordinary.
and it's pretty impressive what they're doing there. And they made a statement 109 units would be, and they already have about 80 of them rented. People will be moving in within the next month, possibly.
The total of 400 and some, isn't it?
Total, when they get to the line of finish, will be about 400 units. Yeah. So great improvement for the city of Martinsburg, obviously. So I had a farmland meeting on Monday along with Miss Jennifer there. It was pretty uneventful, business as usual type meeting. On Wednesday, I attended the MPO meeting on the highways thing with Commissioner Barnhart at the airport. And I did bring up two issues, and I mentioned the fact because during those meetings, we have a representative from the Department of Highways that attends virtually each month on Zoom, Brian Carr. And so he was in the meeting as well this week. And I said on April the 9th, Commissioner Gogan and I attended a press conference at Route 9 DMV West, and the governor made us a presentation, and Jimmy Riston, the Commissioner of Highways, that they were going to get immediate attention to Route 9 West and start making improvements to help alleviate the traffic concerns. So my question to Matt Mullinex was, have you received anything yet on the actual detailed plans as to what's going to happen? Because we were told it was called the Roads to Prosperity Project that they did in southern West Virginia, similar to that. And at this point, Matt has not received an update. Matt emailed me today and said that on a follow-up that he sent on April the 10th, the day after the press conference, I emailed to Commissioner Riston, and he was told that there are plans, and he will be sending that information to Matt shortly. And as of yesterday, he still hasn't received anything. So my concern that I expressed was that the governor's leaving office at the end of the calendar year, and he'd be heading to D.C. probably, and we hope that the conversation doesn't get lost in the meantime and nothing happens. So we'll see what happens.
Well, DC's a lot closer than Charleston. Maybe we'll just go down there a little bit.
Yeah. But anyway, obviously Route 9 West needs immediate attention sooner than later. I expressed that again, and when Brian Carr was asked about it, he said he had no update and has not seen anything on that particular project at this time as well. So. And then another issue, I was confronted by some residents in our county, and I brought up, and Matt's going to check into this, the 200 block of Stuckey Court, whatever how you want to pronounce it. Some residents contacted me last year about the 100 block, and so I called the DOH locally, and they went out and fixed the potholes and did a nice job. 200 block. Full of potholes, nothing's been done. I called the local DOH, they said it's not in their jurisdiction. I called the city of Martinsburg, Jeff Wilkerson, it's not in the city of Martinsburg, so no one's claiming this 200 block. The city starts at the 300 block. So you got this whole block in there that's, so my question was, do you vote in the city election? And they do not. So it is definitely county. Who snow plows your block? The state. So I went to Burlington with it and talked to two different individuals there and was told that they could do nothing about it unless something was done from Charleston to correct the problem. So I've asked Matt Mullinex to check into this on their behalf, the residents in our county, to see if they can get this thing put into give our local DOH the authority to fix the road. So
There's another spot right over here.
there's several.
Thompson Street.
There's several, and after our MPO meeting yesterday, I sat and talked to Andy Blake at length about different issues, but one of them was there's several other blocks and residents that are right next to the Martinsburg boundary, but are in the county that have been ignored for years. And
I wonder if it would help if we could identify those and have it all done in one letter to get somebody.
I think we should forward a letter, and Andy has all that information of all those places identified in mapping and everything.
Good,
So,
and we'll get that letter, we'll do a joint.
the other issue is the city's not going to spend money there unless it's annexed into the city, obviously, and you can understand why.
Right.
So I get that. But at the same time, no one will claim it, and these residents are
Suffering.
suffering, and their cars are taking abuse and everything else. And of course, everybody that travels through their block to get to the block that is taken care of is suffering as well. So Matt's going to check into it, and hopefully we'll get some results. But that's all. On my social tour over the past week, I did attend a banquet last week for Young Life. It's a great Christian organization. I've noticed several people that have been involved in it for years. They're trying to make a real push to expand it into South Berkeley County. And the banquet was held at Heritage Hall, and I applauded their efforts in trying to expand that program. I worked with them over the years when I was at Parks and Rec, and they used our rec center for fundraising events and things to raise money for the organization. And it's a quality program that has been in place for many years, and they do a great job of reaching out to young people between usually the 12 to 18 years of age is whatever they try to address their attention to. So it was a very nice event. So that's all. Thank you, sir.
Coconut.
Yes, sir. Likewise, we attended the monument project up off of West King, and I wanted to compliment that corporation and thank the state of West Virginia, the city, and this commission for all the assistance that was given to them to be able to get this blight that was in the city for a long, long time turned around and renovated into really nice properties there. It will be very good for that side of town. And then, of course, that afternoon we had the subdivision roundtable discussion, which was our second day of that. And I wanted to also compliment our staff and the engineering and the surveyors and stuff that came together to discuss the issues on that new subdivision rewrite. That evening, I had a fire board meeting, which the collections are on schedule. There was another major expense on Tower 40, which is the ladder truck at Beddington. Has cost a lot of money recently, but to replace that piece today is about $2 million. So I guess you just keep on getting it repaired. On Friday, along with the Development Authority and the Commission, was able to meet with the governors and his staff at the CMC Steel. That's always a good day to meet with the governor. The Development Authority had a meeting with them on Tuesday, I believe it was, on property management. Basically, the discussion was on the 400 building, the renovations that are going on there, and prepare for the tenant that will be moving in. At an LAPC meeting on the 10th, no, that's not correct, on Tuesday. Safe and Sound meeting will be held with the Sheriff's Office, at the Sheriff's Office, and there's also a full-scale exercise, which will be a county-wide exercise on June the 6th. Yesterday, we met on the construction of the Dunn building. The restrooms and our suite will be ready hopefully next week. They're doing the punch-out work on the ambulance authority right now. It's all carpeted and painted. They're putting the drop ceiling in the offices that get that. I'll be working on the parking lot next week, so that's moving right along very well. The day report, they're doing the brickwork and doing the interior framing on that building right now, along with the sprinkler and ductwork. So that project's moving along very nicely. But if they can't find those electrical panels that they need, it will come to a screeching halt here before too long. So that's it.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Like my other fellow commissioners, we did have the meeting out there at CMC, which was, like Eddie said, it's always good to see the governor as well as with the Development Authority, and several leaders of the community were there. Amy was there from Senior Services. Oh, gosh, I start naming names and I'm going to forget somebody, but anyway,
She also serves on the Development Authority.
Development Authority, yeah.
I still haven't washed my truck since I went down there because it's been raining every day, but hopefully today, but it's what a mess getting in now there.
I just left mine sit outside in the rain.
But I followed them down to the Boys and Girls Club last Friday after that CMC thing, and he gave the Boys and Girls Club $1 million check, and he made the statement, if you need more to ask. So I told her to call the next day and ask for another $1 million. So, but he does have a contingency fund there that has some money in it that's probably going to get spent before he leaves office, and we need to
Ask for
consider asking for several different funding projects from that particular fund. Follow up on that. So,
Yeah, the parks would be nice.
yeah,
Yeah, for the Inwood Park and all, yeah.
yeah, for sure. Spring Mills.
Spring Mills. And I have an upcoming Airport Authority meeting the same night as Planning Commission, so I'll have to flip a coin, but made the first Planning Commission meeting of the month, but I'll probably go to the Airport Authority meeting. That
And
is
Jim,
on
let me
Monday.
say one more thing. My friend Roberta Walters is back in Virginia near Winchester, and we are trying to schedule a date to meet down there, hopefully next Tuesday.
Oh,
At
good.
the Falls
Uh-huh.
on her property. And I'm trying to get the Civil War battlefield people there as well. So we're trying to organize this, and hopefully at next week's meeting, I'll have an update on the potential there as to what could happen.
Very good. Something came into my mind. Let's see, other than that, I think that's about it. We're getting close to the bid opening. Can you give us a little lead into it, Chad, or is it just?
Probably not 15 minutes worth, but I can give you a lead in. So we've received 3 bids. This is for the Health Department expansion and alteration project. The pre-bid meeting was held at the Health Department on site on April 25th. It was well attended. This is a project that we have received CBDG grant money from. There is this is got partial federal backing to it, so there's a little more detail in this RFP for construction. We were happy to see the turnout that we did, and we were happy to see the 3 bids come in. You do have a notice of publication attached to this, and the bids are ready to
Right
be-
there?
I assume we need to wait till.
Yeah, we need to wait, Anthony.
Yeah, Jennifer.
Oh, Jennifer? Can you fill us in for a little bit, Jennifer?
Absolutely.
All righty, come on up. Jennifer from the Executive Director for the Development
Got
Authority.
13 minutes.
Yeah, take your time.
Well, thank you guys. I am in front of you today because
Personally, I think that would be a great idea. I think by using the TIF funds, it not only provides the service to Project White, it will open up that property to other industry also. That's my personal feeling on that. Anybody else have any other comments about it?
But the 50% is the 216.5 is half of what you need.
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
a rate
That would cover it.
that will cover. So, no.
In the game here. Yeah.
So also, just from previous conversations, Mountaineer Gas is willing to front this, correct, with a 4 or 5 year repayment from our TIF, correct? And you had spoke with the assessor's office in reference to potential future values, tax values, and there's substantial amount of money for the TIF,
There
correct?
will be, but, current.
I know. I already spent.
But there will be a huge.
Right. Okay. So we need a motion to approve the funding request for the TIF district.
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I second that.
And any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you, Jennifer.
That it?
That is it.
That is it? Very much. Well, we still have 9 more minutes. Anything else? Or you want to just quickly break and then come back at 10:10? We're going to take a break until 10:10 for the bid opening. We're going to do the bid opening here at, in about another 30 seconds. But anyway, go ahead and bid opening for the Health Department. Addition and alterations. The first bid is W. Harley Miller Contractors with the lump sum price of $2,060,000. And the alternate one, do we want those? Or is that just? First, and the alternate generator is $162,000. The total bid is $2,060,000. Lance?
Just all the, just the three bids.
I think for Martinsburg.
Martinsburg, yeah. Lance is Aviation Drive in Winchester, Virginia,
What's this? Is that number 2?
number 2.
Where was it?
Lance Construction Company, Winchester, Virginia. You want their address?
Just a state.
Yeah.
Winchester.
Yes. Total bid, $1,997,000, and the alternate is $146,000. And Alice Construction out of Downsville Pike, Hagerstown, $2,324,800. And the alternate is $189,200. Is that it? For the last one?
Yeah.
$2,324,800. And $189,200 for the alternate. It?
Alice? Alice.
Alice.
Callis.
Callas. Yep.
Is that it? Does that conclude? And those 3 bids are the conclusion of the bid opening. They'll go review them, and then we'll be in touch with the, and award the contract once they're all reviewed. Okay?
This one?
All righty. We have Chris Williams here yet? No, he's not. Okay.
Do you have any board vacancies you want to address?
No vacancies yet, or no vacancies to fill. Or do you have one?
No, you guys add anybody to the airport, or are you good where you're at?
I got one interview. I got to get a hold of the,
Height came in months ago and interviewed. No, you never heard nothing back.
who was it?
Mike Height.
No, I haven't heard nothing. I don't know, is the Delegate Height?
He interviewed 4 months
Yeah.
ago.
I don't know that we can appoint, but I'll have to find out from Anthony
Okay.
because of his position.
I see.
All right, we'll take a break until our interviewer comes in. Okay, we're back in session. We have an interview here for the Fire Board. Mr. Williams, we're going to bring you up a little bit early. It's always good to see you, and welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself that we may not know and what interests you in wanting to help give back to the county.
Okay. My name's Michael Williams, for anybody who doesn't know me. I think I know most of you. I'm born and raised here in Berkeley County. Graduated from Musselman High School, went out of the area to go to college, came right back and started Jackson Williams Appraisers in 1993. So I've got business experience in the county. I've got a nice geographical understanding of the county. I was actually interested in the fire board because my father recently passed away, and he was a lifelong member of South Berkeley Volunteer Fire Department. So this seemed like a great way to honor him and his legacy. He was deeply dedicated to fire service here in the county, was a paramedic and a firefighter, was a safety officer. So basically, it just seemed like this would be a great way to honor him. We lost him on the 1st of April, so still kind of fresh, but this seemed like a great step to keep his legacy alive with the county.
Well, that's very honorable, and I did meet your dad a few times, and but anyway, that's it's always a tough thing to lose a parent, that's for sure. But we're going to start with HD if he has any questions for you. And
Are you familiar at all with the fire board and what goes on there?
So I don't know the inner workings of the fire board, but I've actually, for full disclosure, I've actually done some appraisal work for the fire board. So I have a long-standing business relationship with Hunter Wilson. So I've talked with Hunter quite extensively about the new station at South Berkeley and for Baker Heights, and I ultimately did the bank appraisals for the financing for both of those properties.
Would you be in favor of working to get funds to get paid firefighters?
Oh, absolutely. And my father was a volunteer, but he was very much a believer that the county changed. So when my father joined the fire department in the 60s, we were a county of 50, 60,000 people. And life was different then. So there was an availability that people had to be able to farm or work shift work that would make them available to cover fire calls, especially during the day. And that was what my father did. He worked night shifts, so he was always available to run calls during the day. But, even after he stopped being an active participant because of age and he couldn't really run fire calls, he could see the decline in the volunteer participation. So he was always a big defender of the idea that we needed paid coverage. I think he didn't want to see the volunteer fire departments go away. I think there's a rich heritage there, but he also realized that, we need to protect the county. And I mean, it's changed markedly since he retired. I mean, we're almost 130,000 people, so it's impossible to provide accurate fire coverage on a volunteer basis for a county of our size now.
I'm not advocating, doing away with volunteers, but it is getting harder and harder, and we're having some major catastrophes, not having
absolutely
paid staff. So, all right, thank you.
Mr. Barnhart.
Are you a member of a volunteer fire company or anything?
I'm not, much to my father's chagrin. So he was, two of the major facets of his life was the fire department and the Air Guard, and I didn't follow him into either of those. I've always kind of needed to blaze my own trail, and so it was a little odd for me to go against my natural instincts and follow him. That's another reason why I'd kind of like to do this. Is it's kind of a tip of the hat to him now to say, I do want to keep his legacy of service alive without me being in his shadow.
I really don't have any other questions for you. I mean, you're obviously interested in it, and that is good. Do you have any ideas about what you would do as a member of the fire board, or just go with the flow kind of thing?
I think really what I could contribute is especially with the growth of the departments and the need for new stations. I've been talking with Hunter over the past couple of years about the Baker Heights, the Beddington station. So I think I could provide more of a financial insight instead of more of a technocrat of the workings of the fire board itself, but really more of a person who can add some financial insight, add a business perspective. And especially, like I said, with this need for expanding the stations themselves, I think I can help with site placement and making sure that we're not spending too much for the stations and understanding what we would have once we built, what kind of asset we would have.
Yeah, of course, next on the list is Beddington.
Right.
Thank you.
Mr. Catlett?
Mike and I are members of the Exhausted Roosters organization, so we have dinner every couple months together. And he's a lot younger and a lot less exhausted than I am, I will say that. But also, when I was at Parks and Rec, Mike helped us out upon occasion, particularly with the Poorhouse Farm addition out there. And I will always be indebted to him for the help he gave us in that. And I don't think we could find it. We really appreciate the fact, Mike, that you're willing to step up and serve, because we have 30, 40 boards that we have board members we have to assign, and we look all the time for quality members, and I think you fit this board to a T, and I appreciate very much that you're willing to serve. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think you'd be a great asset to it.
Eddie?
Yeah, good morning, Michael. This particular board is basically the financial arm, for our fire service in the county. So I know that you deal with numbers every day. So you've been a long time successful business person here in the county. That's what we were looking for. I was reaching out, looking at different folks. Of course, I remember you when you were very, very young, and your dad would bring you to the firehouse before he took you to school. So
You're saying you're more exhausted than he is as well?
I'm much more exhausted in more ways than one.
Yeah.
But I've basically known you, since you were a child, and I've known your dad very well since about 1973, moving forward, and it would be a great legacy. Your dad would be very, very proud and honored that you tried to say yes, when I approached you about serving on this board. So, with your business background, your financial background, I just think that that's the fit that we really need to help that board make good decisions. Thank you for.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to thank you for coming in and your willingness to give back to the community, because, I was born and raised here myself and started off on the ambulance authority. We were talking about that this morning and how that's progressed over the years. And again, it takes good people to be good volunteers to make this county what it is, and a great place.
Sure.
I think with that being said, Eddie, we don't usually do this, but we're going to do it today. So hold on just a second.
Yeah, I would like to make the motion to appoint Michael Williams to the Fire Service Board.
Is this an unexpired term or a new term?
No, sir, it's a new term that's being Mary Delier, who has been a very valuable person on this board. She has turned out, and she did extremely well on this board, so I want to make sure that she understands our appreciation for her. And so I like for Michael that Michael make this appointment today.
Okay.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Well, just tell him about he has to go.
Oh, yeah, you'll probably go down to see the clerk and they'll swear you in. She'll have a paper for you or.
I'll go to the office, go get something, she'll get something ready for you to take down.
It's kind of a whirlwind here for you today.
Sounds like it.
So no further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries, and welcome aboard.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate the consideration
Yeah,
and the
and
opportunity.
I'll take you down and introduce you to the staff at the fire board, because this is, I think, our last thing on the agenda.
If it is, unless we have a executive session. Nope. Okay. All righty.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
With
Mike.
you. Next on the agenda will be any items from the public. If not, Mr. Barnhart.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I would really like to move to recess.
We are in recess. Thank you.